daily mobility, full body flow. Start in a lunge position, back foot down. From here, gently come forward, squeezing the glute, keeping the pelvis tucked. So we don't want to come too far forward into the stretch. From here, taking the arms up, interlocking the fingers. Now I'm reaching over to the side of the bent knee. So I'm feeling a nice stretch in the front of the hip, in the psoas, the hip flexor, and in the lat of the other side, where I'm rotating from. Back to centre, squeezing the glute, feeling it in the hip flexor. From here, I'm going to switch sides. So again, slightly coming forward, squeezing the glute, engaging the hip flexor so it relaxes at the front, not too far forward. From here, taking the hands overhead, interlock the fingers. Now I'm going to rotate to the opposite side, the side with the bent knee. Deep breaths. Back to centre. Now I'm going to switch hands again. I'm going to do groin stretch. So take the foot diagonal to the knee. And now I'm going to rotate my hips this way. And move into the stretch. So I'm getting a nice stretch on the groin and a stretch on the ankle. So you should feel this movement on the inner thighs. Going as far forward as you can, getting as deep into the range of motion as possible. Coming back, keep the weight on the heel. As you come back, you push up off the heel. One more here. Keep the back nice and neutral. Chest up tall. So now I'm going to switch sides. Again, foot is diagonal from the knee. And I'm going to rotate my hips. Keep the back nice and flat. Try not to round the back and coming forward. Want the torso slightly leaning forward, but chest is up and open. One more. From here we're going to come down into child pose, taking the arms across, pulling them all the way to one side, feeling the stretch down the lap. The lower back is relaxed and I'm sat on the heels to the other side, walking the hands over as far as you can. Back to centre, head on the mat. From here I'm going to come up. I'm going to do T-spine rotation, joints stacked. Taking the hand behind the head. Elbow into the nook of the elbow, coming up, rotate. So here I'm trying not to rotate the hips, I'm just rotating the upper back, opening up the body as I come up. Trying to turn the elbow as far over as I can, whilst keeping the hips square to the floor. So now I'm going to switch, again, joints stacked underneath, hands on the back of the head, bring the elbow in, touch the inside of the elbow, rotate around. As I rotate around, I'm looking up to the ceiling. I want to go nice and slow. Hold it at the top. Come back. One more. From here we're going to sit into child's pose, coming up and down into cobra. So keep the shoulders back. I'll give it a little bit of pressure in the lower back, don't sink as far into it. And look up. creating as much distance between my shoulders and my ears. From here, I'm going to come up, I'm going to stretch the forearms. So, forearm flexibility, if it's not the best, you want to bring it as close to your knees as you can. If you're not feeling the stretch much and you've got good wrist flexibility, then you can take the hands a little bit further away from the knees. So, important thing is that the shoulders stay behind the wrist, so I can get a nice stretch. So I'm sitting back onto my heels with my back flat. So again, shoulder is behind my wrist. Have the feet up, or you can relax the feet, whatever's more comfortable. So from here I'm going to go into side to side forearm stretch, so palms facing up, and I'm gently rocking from side to side. Lunge forward, two options. We can have the back foot down. If you want to intensify the stretch, we can come up into a lunge. Okay, just think about bringing the knee off and holding the foot. We don't want to be rounding it up high. So from here, I'm going to put my hand through and rotate up. So from this position, hand comes down and through, taking the arm up in line with the shoulder. So getting a nice stretch on the hip flexor, opening up the hips, and working on the thoracic spine. Want to intensify the stretch, we bring the back knee up so that we're off. I'm reaching as far through as I can and bringing the arm up. Switch sides. So lunge position, coming down, bringing the arm through and out. Intensifying the stretch by bringing the knee off the ground, rotating hand directly up, joints stacked on top of each other at the top. One more. Back knee down. From here we're going to go into a glute bridge. So knuckles facing up, bend to 90 degrees. From here on the glute bridge, I'm going to reach overhead and to the side. Glutes back down, up, glutes engage, reach over. So I'm reaching diagonal across the shoulder. Now we're going to keep the hips up. So make sure that they're close to the hands, coming up in the glute bridge, ribs down and reach. As I'm reaching, my hips stay square. I'm rotating from my upper back, keeping the weight on the heels. One more. From here, take the legs down. Two options: you can either have the knees stacked on top of each other with the hips down, or you can have one leg straight, the other knee over. So from here, I'm resting my foot on my knee. I'm going to look to the opposite direction. So now what I'm going to do is bring my hand over and rotate. I'm going to switch. So leg straight, foot on top of the knee, hips in line, arm out, my head is off. I bring the arm over, my head is on.